likely to pass, like the big bastard bill there. And so I do think that
And
I
the
want to see
legislative
this.
branch would actually have equal power again, as it's
Hmm.
supposed to be, instead of just doing the will of the executive branch.
Hmm. Um, so I guess this is where I'm a perpetual pessimist and skeptic when it comes to politics, just because I've been chronically involved in political discourse for longer than probably is healthy for most humans, and so I'm always trying to be the voice of reason when we talk about this, but you've put out some numbers there as to why you're really confident that you can be successful, even running on a split ticket that has both a Democrat and a Republican, and you as an independent. And I'd like you to go ahead and just share
Two
that and why
Democrats, by the way, two
two
Democrats.
Democrats.
And the
Are they
DNC
go they're going to run through the general with two Democrats?
no, they have to go through the primary,
Going
obviously. What's
primary,
really
yeah.
pissing me off about the North Carolina DNC is they're already putting their support behind Chuck Hubbard. There
Hmm.
is there is a valid challenger to Chuck Hubbard, a Gen Z
Hmm.
young man named Kaya Creekmore. But you're not going to see the DNC and their, behind the channels people pushing Kaya Creekmore. They've already decided that before the primaries even happened that Chuck Hubbard is their person. And that just reaffirms my distaste for this you must be allegiant to party mindset
Hmm.
nonsense that we're seeing on both sides of the aisle now, respectfully.
Yeah. Oh, I want you to get into those numbers. The other thing before we kind of move on from this topic, though, that I wish that the Democratic Party would do more of is, and we talk about investing in local elections a lot, like unaffiliated elections, such as school board and city council and stuff that are nonpartisan. Because the Republican Party has been doing that for years, and it's paid off in huge ways, both in incubating candidates for the future and allowing them to shape policy on a local level that is largely ignored, so they can make really big changes incrementally that nobody pays attention to until it's too late and really difficult to undo those things. And they can test
Right.
bed policy and see what they can get away with without getting that national attention and pushback. And Democrats have just let them do that and done absolutely almost none of that. But also, the fact that Democrats haven't in really red districts where it's like, okay, we are not going to win, why they haven't been putting effort and time into backing candidates in the Republican primary that are going to be more sympathetic to reaching across the aisle and being bipartisan and working with Democrats and working for their constituents rather than simply, doing the bidding of whatever cult leader happens to control the party at the time. And because that seems like, again, another winning strategy. We can dump money into a candidate we know is going to lose, or we can spend some time working and helping elevate candidates. It's like, all right, if a Republican's going to be a Republican in this district, why don't we get a Republican that's not fucking Lauren Boebert or, Jim Jordan? Why don't we get one that's at least reasonable and willing to compromise on some of the major issues? And I don't know what you think about that, or if you'd ever had considered running, trying to infiltrate on that side.
I would never run Republican because I'll give you a direct quote from my passed on father. I would rather be broke, poor, and honest than a rich thief living a lie. I am
Mm-hmm.
not a Republican. I've never been a Republican. I am a fiscally conservative progressive because
Mm-hmm.
progressive policies actually are fiscally conservative.
Yeah.
So this you have to pick one side or the other thing. That's not for me, man.
Yeah.
I would rather lose honest and being true to
Yeah.
my principles than ever play this pick team red side just temporarily, and then once you get elected, you can flip to independent or whoever you want. That's not me, man. I mean, being dishonest has become so casually synonymous with the word politician. We need
Mm-hmm.
actual representatives of everyday Americans, not rich people, not
Right.
people that call themselves
Mm-hmm.
self-made gurus but came from a long legacy of rich family members. We need actual everyday Americans to represent everyday Americans because what we're seeing today in Congress is it's either someone with an Ivy League law degree or someone coming from a rich family and or both that are
Hmm.
representatives. And that does not make up 99.9% of everyday Americans. We are being taxed without any actual representation. They may put out things on one side of the aisle or the other that the everyday American agrees with, but as far as life lived experiences, these people are all out of touch with the everyday American because their blessings and hardships are completely different than the everyday American's blessing and hardships. I've got $400 to my name. I had to pay
Hmm.
$200 for the ER just to get antibiotics and prednisone. These people don't have to worry about being sick. These people don't have to worry about paying their electric bill. These people don't have to worry about, can I afford an overpriced DoorDash tonight? These
Right.
people have no concept of what a blessing for an everyday American is, like being able to have a lavish DoorDash meal delivered and pay your electric bill at the same time and have your hospital bill covered. That would be a blessing if I could achieve all those things. These people have no idea what an actual hardship of an everyday American is because their blessings are they just made $5 million in 2 hours. Their hardships are, oh, I didn't sell that stock soon enough. Instead of making 10 million, I only made 7.
Oh, I definitely hear and feel what you're saying on the being dishonest, and I have to agree with you. It'd be a pretty tough pill, pride-wise, for me to swallow and say that, yeah, I'm running as a Republican, But I don't know that it would be necessarily dishonest if you were honest about the fact that I know that to win in this particular district, Republicans are the only ones who are considered, and I don't think that
Mm-hmm.
Republicans
I
or
disagree.
Democrats
I
are
disagree.
getting. Well, let me finish here.
Republican
Um,
votes are needed, Jordan. I've told you
mhm.
this before. Republican votes in my district are needed.
I wasn't
But
saying your district specifically. I was just
no,
saying
but
in
I'm focused on my district. In my
yeah.
district, I don't even need Democrat votes to win. I need
Hmm.
Republicans and unaffiliated. And when I get elected, I will work for all of the constituent, regardless of
Hmm.
how they're registered to vote. But in this gerrymandered district, I need Republicans to vote.
Yeah.
Unaffiliated will put me over the line, but I need Republican votes to win here. And the Republicans here, even the Trump Republicans, hate Virginia Fox because in 20 years she hasn't done a damn thing for them. So I welcome taking some of